Hey everybody, welcome to Trading Capital's exclusive analysis. In today's video, we're discussing some bullish setups potentially unfolding in the KWEB ETF. So first things first, this KWEB ETF is actually trying to form a little bit of a daily chart breakout. You can see this trend line, pivot to pivot to pivot. You tried breaking out here on heavy volume, got slightly rejected, and now you're coming back up to really test and potentially hold this breakout trend line. We haven't confirmed the breakout, so it hasn't officially happened yet, but there are signs that we're getting very, very close to breaking out of this KWEB ETF. And what's interesting is, again, this is a China-based internet ETF, and a lot of China equities have gone through a massive, massive multi-year bear market, and it might be telling us that there's signs of accumulation happening under the surface in these China equity names, which could point to potential downward pressure in the US equities in the near term. Obviously, US equities typically have a very strong track record of continuous outperformance compared to the China-based equities. But China-based equities, once they break out, they have a potential to make these massive, massive quick moves to the upside just because they are so much more oversold. Typically, the moves don't stick, but they do have a scenario where you could catch a very, very large upside swing in the near term. So again, this is on the precipice of breaking out. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is take a look at the KWEB holdings list. Anything in blue, North American equities, we can trade. Anything kind of in black is more or less your over-the-counter or China equity tickers. So focusing on anything in blue, I've actually gone through this whole list, and there's about 12 tickers that I have made a short list of in this overall ETF that I think are very, very bullish and likely could yield more upside in the near term. Now, not all the tickers are bullish in that ETF, so you're going to have to do a little bit of your own due diligence, but a few that I will bring to your mind here that I'm liking is take a look at this ticker, TCOM. TCOM has had that continuous breakout pattern, so nice solid move up, big consolidation bull flag, continuation breakout just last week. It held that breakout. More importantly, you got the higher weekly close. So this chart is looking exceptionally bullish in the near term, and I could easily see this chart going back up to test about the previous all-time high, sitting at $60 in the near term. So keep that one on your watch list for the near term. Another one, obviously, Tencent Music has been a one that has had absolute unbelievable unwavering strength in comparison to the entire KWEB ETF. So since this ticker actually has a really, really sizable weighting in the overall ETF, 4.5%, it's interesting to see that KWEB hasn't even really broken out yet despite the unbelievable relentless strength in Tencent Music. So this one's certainly looking continuously strong, and if KWEB breaks out, this one could continue to press higher. A little bit of a bit of an extended move in the near term. I typically like to buy the pullbacks like you get on the 50-day moving average, but this one does look a little bit poised to continue higher. Another name, BZ, looking poised to potentially continue this breakout trend line. And again, what's interesting about this particular chart is a lot of these charts are looking very, very similar. They've created this large, 12-month, multi-month base off of a higher low pattern. It is looking like you want to potentially break higher in some of these names. So one that's potentially on the near-term precipice. One of my favorites, IQ. IQ actually had a daily chart breakout on Friday, as you've got a beautiful higher weekly close and a daily chart breakout on a little bit of an increased volume pattern. This one has triggered an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And if you take a look at that upside potential move, you're looking at a potential 580 target in the coming weeks for IQ. And again, some of these China names are so oversold that you could have a very, very ferociously quick short snap bid, potential short squeeze rally that could ensue, considering these stocks have been making lower highs and lower lows. If they start to move up, that's when shorts will really start to get nervous. You look at YY, another one that's trying to break out of this little bit of a range pattern over here. You can see a nice daily chart impulse green candle, and now you're potentially putting in a flag pattern to move higher. So those are just some of the bullish names. Again, do your due diligence. China equities have a little bit more risk to them geopolitically, but at this point in time, some of them are showing some really, really, really positive signs of making continuation moves to the high side. If everybody's found this video helpful, please check out my tradingcapital.ca Discord, where I run a swing trading and day trading service, and you can get all the exclusive insights as to which tickers I'm actually buying on the long side. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.